During the 1930s and the Great Depression, it's not just the United States, it's the whole world. And in Europe, this leads to the rise of dictators. And through their actions, we're going to have World War II.
I am a real American, fight for the rights of every man. I am a real American, fight for what's right, fight for your life. When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside, you gotta take a stand, it don't hurt.
Now we have to go all the way back to 1919 to talk about the Soviet Union. If you remember in World War I, the Allies were be fair. Britain, France, America, Italy, and Russia. Well, Germany launched a plan at the end of World War I to release a guy named Vladimir Lenin to Russia. And Russia will have a revolution, the Red Revolution, and become the Soviet Union, the world's first communist country. And because of this, after Lenin's death, a man named Joseph Stalin is going to take over. In Germany, you see the rise of Adolf Hitler. He takes his cues from a man named Benito Mussolini who took power in Italy. And their type of government is known as fascism. Fascism is where the government runs everything, versus communism where the government runs and owns everything. This is the antithesis of the American model of government. And so naturally we're going to have conflicts with these countries. So you're in a country, and this country has lost a war. And the people it lost a war to have made a treaty where you're not allowed to have a military, even though you've had one since all the way in an old empire thousands of years ago. You're known for your military traditions. And you're in the middle of a depression so bad that it takes a wheelbarrow full of money to buy a loaf of bread, and the money is so worthless, you're using it for toilet paper and to start fires. And then a young leader comes around. And by young, I mean in his 40s or 50s, because let's be honest, 20-year-olds aren't leaders. At least not anymore. And so this young leader promises you, I'm going to make our country strong again. I'm going to return us to what we were. I'm going to make us better than we were. It's not our fault, it's their fault. And we're going to use violence and we're going to use whatever we need to protect ourselves and be strong. If that's the leader you want, you just said yes to Adolf Hitler. If you go back to World War I and the Treaty of Versailles and the Allies, be fair, remember be fair, Britain, France, America, Italy, Russia. Well, after Woodrow Wilson's stroke, we cripple Germany. Remember, it takes them till the mid-2000s or 2010s to pay it back. And that creates the rise of Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party in Germany.
If you hurt my friends, then you hurt my pride. I gotta be a man, I can't let it slide. I am a real American, fight for the rights of every man. I am a real American, fight for what's right, fight for your life.
He's going to start by having Austria agree, yeah, we want Hitler. After that, he's going to take over a land called the Sudetenland. It's part of Czechoslovakia. He says, look, all those people speak German. I need that land. We need what he calls Lebensraum, or living room. I've never taken someone's living room before and gotten away with it, but Hitler did. And all because a guy with the most British-sounding name of all time, Neville Chamberlain, let him do it. He decided to do appeasement. Hopefully that appeared on the screen and you see appeasement. Neville Chamberlain said, you know what? Don't do it again, Hitler. And then he goes back to Britain. He's like, I have peace in our times. And boy, was he wrong, because Hitler did it again. Except the next time he did it, it wasn't Neville Chamberlain. It was Winston Churchill. And now you're going to start World War II. But here's the thing. This is a knockout artist. This is not trench warfare. Hitler was a veteran of World War I, so he saw how the German army got bogged down in the trenches, and he decided that he needed to use a tactic actually invented by the British in the late 1800s that a lot of generals are like, oh, that'll never work. It did, and it's called blitzkrieg or lightning war. And it's fast, coordinated movements using vehicles to knock out the enemy before it even knows what hit them. And Hitler will take over Europe in a matter of months and do what the German army in World War I couldn't do in a matter of 4 years. He knocks France out of the war before it really even fully begins. And so now Britain's looking all alone, and America wants to help her, but Congress, remember, this is right after the court packing scheme of the 1930s, Congress and FDR aren't on the best of terms because of that, and so they're going to try to handcuff FDR, and FDR desperately wants to help.